Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and talk about whatever, anime probably. I want to give a shout out to everybody here in the chat. If you're a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote in there. Let the people know uh, that you are a subscriber. Hello, Brown Lantern. Hello, Shadow. Hello, Ultron. Hello, Harold. Sandra is here. Alexandra, always wonderful to see you. Hello. Um, Harold is also hosting the stream. That's rad. Thank you, Harold. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Uh, so my numbers are lying to me because clearly more than 4 viewers are here. It's always fun uh, because more than 4 people have said something in the chat. So cool, cool. We'll get going in a couple of minutes. Brown Lantern says had a rough ass day. Glad to be chilling here with you, Pat. That's so nice. Santini says the Bear Cave emote. Appreciate that, folks. We are. Oh, okay. Now we have a lot more viewers. Apparently, great. More than 4. We're at 63 subscribers right now. Trying to get to that nice number. We got close to it. I knew this was going to happen as we get towards the end of the month. People's gift subscriptions are going to slowly end, and they might not even notice that. So if you've been thinking about subscribing, now's a great time to do that. Zandra says, I did heavy cardio for 2 hours and I can barely function, so this is great timing. Well, great. I'm going to work on a cool looking model kit with cool swords. Before we even get to the overhead shot, I do want to say, I talked about this on Monday night. Look at this. Look at these cool, there's 2 of these, but like the detail of these blades is so nice, even for a master grade. This is a fun kit. I will go to the overhead here. Shout outs to my main man out there in internet land, Rich Gallup, who purchased this kit off my wish list. So we did a little bit of the building on Monday. What happened was Monday was our late night stream, first late night stream, 1 a.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern time. And we finished up the space shuttle. And towards the end, I started to build the kit. But 2 things happened. 1, around 2:45 a.m., I got very, very tired. And 2, we got a lovely raid in from Will Smith. The internet's Will Smith raided us, which was fantastic. Will came in, and it was really nice. Brought a bunch of viewers in. Some people followed, which is awesome. But I kind of wanted to talk about the stuff, and I was getting tired, so we stopped building. So we've got a long ways to go with this kit. Rich rules. Thank you to whoever renewed their subscription. If the thing pops up where you can click the thing and let us know that you renewed, that would be rad. You don't have to do that, but you can. It's nice, and I can give you a shout out here. Reminder that you can always give people subscriptions, and you can do that anonymously if you don't want to do it for us to know. But yeah, oh, there we go. Well, here we go. Zenalon just subscribed for 4 months in a row. Thank you very much, Zenalon. Uh, it means a lot that folks are interested in helping me continue to do this stuff. I do really appreciate it. The Monday stream was fun as I start to get some pieces together here. We can start building this kit. The Monday stream was a good time. Overall, I think it worked, especially for apparently a few y'all are on the West Coast, and the idea of not starting a stream at 6 p.m. apparently works for a few of you. Brown Linter says I have this kit, never built it. Yeah, this is So this is I should say. The Astray Red is a kit that exists in the world. It's in a Gundam series. This is the modified version. This is Sengoku, because it is part of the Gundam Build Fighters. Yes, Gundam Build Fighters series. So it's like a modified version of that, which is cool, and I'm excited to build it. The swords, the shoulder pieces that become shields, but also big fists. But also, you can see in the photo on the left and right there, those black pieces there also can hold the swords. So they can kind of become extra arms. And I'm very excited about that because I love nonsense like that. I think that's really fun and inventive. So I'm excited to build that. And also the color scheme is beautiful. Um, the white and red I think are great. I love the red as a base. I love that my connector pieces are our plastic pieces here, rubberized pieces I should say, are all red. I think that's great. I'm really looking forward to this. Uh, Brown Lyncher says I bought it and got nervous, so nervous it's just in my closet and I feel shame every time I look at it. Well, Brown Lantern, I'm sorry to hear that. If it's from experience, I would say maybe get a few more high grades under your belt. I will say that immediately this kit was a little challenging because you can't see them here, but the way the shoulder piece is locked in here, you really had to press, and I don't like really pressing hard when it comes to model kit building. Things should snap together. You shouldn't have to put a lot of force, but this did require force, and that is a little nerve-wracking. So I should say that if you do decide to tackle this kit, and you should. Build Fighters is a great love letter to Gunpla and model building in general. This suit does rad stuff like cut beams too. Ooh. Yeah, it is a cool looking kit. I'm definitely into it. Um, its numbering or its lettering convention for the sheets, I mentioned this on Monday, are very strange. Uh, there's A B C D E F G H, then it goes to J, then it goes to O, then P R, then S and U, then V, then W and X. And there's X1 and X2. It just completely skips some letters, and that's very weird. I was very surprised when I started organizing this kit. But I am excited to build it, get back into some model kit stuff. Uh, uh, Ingen says this is great timing. I was just about to start building the RG full armor unicorn, and I could build along with the stream. That's awesome. Yeah. Feel free if you're up for it, Incan, at any time in your build process. You can send me photos to my Twitter, which is Pat Baer, which is my name for every service. You can send me a link, and I always retweet photos when people are doing their builds. It's very fun for me to be able to do that. Uh, yeah, so I always try to share that, or you could post in our Discord, which I'll put the link in the middle of the show. There. Always like to see photos there. We have the building photos section of the Discord, and I always encourage people that if they're up for it, oops, that's wrong. That's the wrong piece. To share with me the stuff they're working on, um, and that doesn't mean model kits or Lego sets. If you're a builder, if you're a maker of anything, if you put together IKEA shelves, let me know. If you do papercraft, I put a couple things of papercraft on the recommendation of Will Smith. I added a couple papercraft things to my Amazon wish list because I've never worked on that. We've done, we worked with cardboard on the wrestling belt, and we've carved pumpkins on the stream. But that's the extent of that. So I was interested in maybe doing uh, some some papercraft and just kind of mixing things up. I don't want. I can't imagine I will get bored with Lego sets and model kit building, but there exists the possibility that someday I might. You never know. All right, so gotta figure out where this goes into this. We're basically building part of the body here that's going to go into our waist, so I want to make sure that I'm doing this right so that I don't have to do it again, which is always the thing about model kit assembly. Got to make sure that you're doing it right so you don't have to do it again. With Lego, obviously, it's pretty easy to fix your mistakes, but it's not always easy when you're working with model kits. I do have my sponger and various other tools to help separate things, but it's still not the easiest thing to separate a kit. All right, so that was D16, and then this goes like this to the back of it. Okay, and then that goes Hmm. Did I mess up a step? I might have messed up something here. So I'm going to take a second to look at this. But yeah, I believe. Okay, so if it goes like that, there we go. Okay, so this piece here rotates, and I had it, or sorry, my head is blocking, rotates, and I had it bent the wrong way. That's why. Hello, Zorbs, and welcome. Uh, my Thursday's going good. Folks in the chat, if you want to let Zorbs know how your weekend's going. Um, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Um, Today I sent emails and had a phone interview about a thing that isn't going to work out, but was good to do. And yeah, I'm I am submitting for jobs, and that is humbling in some respects. I went and talked to a person who works for a company, and that person interviewed for a job at my company not too long ago, and I was in on the interview process. And now I am talking to him before I apply where he worked instead of working with us. So that is some of it's a little humbling. It's interesting to know that you are going out for jobs with people who are far younger than you and will accept far less than you will, that are not looking for full time work, that would love full time work, but will settle for hourly work that is not worth the amount of money they're paying because they're really doing a lot more hours than they say on paper, and you got to work do a lot of other stuff. Yeah, it's a little humbling after being full employed for so long. But I am confident that I will find something great. Lashbrook says, all my sleep debt from PAX is catching up to me, and I really need to get up and put food in my face. Well, Lashbrook, I hope you get some food. Asmo, hello. I see you there in the chat. Welcome. But yeah, I hope you get some food, Lashbrook. And, yep, that's the thing. You you think, well, I'm traveling, I'm doing this thing, I'll sleep when I get back, but it is very hard, I understand, to schedule time when you take time off for fun stuff to schedule time to rest, but it is very important. All right, so I'm going to try to use my tweezers. These pieces here are not connecting in a way that they should. So I am looking at that. Up. Oh, Jam just subscribed for 14 months in a row. Jam, thank you so much for that subscription renewal. We are now up to 65 subscribers, which rules. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Sandra says, Gus, I should realize that recovering from AGDQ has been a thing too. Yes, very much. It is a thing. It is very much a thing that you have to take into consideration and recognize that vacations are, one, vacations can actually be tiring, and two, we don't let ourselves have vacations. We go to events, we do things, we catch up with people that live in the city that aren't at the con that we're going to. We get up early and stay up late, and we go, and we experience things, and we don't eat particularly healthy, and we don't drink enough water, and maybe we inhibit some self-care, and we go to the quiet area. Yeah, Sandra, you networked because it's important to network, right? Because that's an important thing. And also, you're in the speedrunning community as someone that speedruns, but you might not be known for that community. You're known for other art, but also maybe people in the speedrunning community would be really into your books and the art that you do. So maybe you gotta like let them know by going to like a hotel that's not your hotel and doing BarCon, but it's part of the thing. So you got to do all that work. So it is work. It is a job. It's a fun one. Don't get me wrong. It's very fun, but it can be very tiring. I would love it if I could just get this piece connected in a way that like made sense and worked, so we could move on and I could keep building this kit. We're having good conversation, but let me try this. Okay, so this looks like this. Then just gotta go inside here, and then we can try it the other way and see if that will magically make things snap together in a way that means I can move on and start building more of this kit and not get stuck here. How's your late night stream? You think you'll do it again? Yes, I will. The plan is that is going to be what I do for a while. Is Monday 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. will be my third stream of the week. Asmo says I'm taking Friday, Monday as my first vacation time since PAX West, and I'm going to catch up on so many podcasts and play video games. Hell yeah, Asmo. That sounds awesome. That's not a staycation. That's a like nice little vacation from responsibility. I never liked that term staycation because your home should be the place that you get to relax in. And not everyone gets that luxury. I'm aware. Not everyone's situation is positive when it comes to that stuff. I'm very aware of that. But the hope is that, you can like relax and have fun in your home. All right, I don't know why these pieces aren't. Whoop, that popped off. I don't know why this isn't coming together. I'm going to pull everything apart, take a closer look, see if I can figure out why this isn't working right. All right. Goes in there, that goes in there, goes in there. All these things make sense. Okay. All right. I started doing morning streams to start my day, and it's been fun changing pace. Oh, that's fun, Xandra. Yeah, the Monday late night stream was a pretty good success. I was overall pleased with the turnout. I was surprised how many folks came out to support. That was rad as hell. Thanks to everybody that made time. It was awesome. And I think the plan is that's going to be my third stream a week. I was pretty tired towards the end, so it'll definitely be a case where um, I don't stream like every or I don't go the full 2 hours. I go an hour and 45 maybe. Like if I'm getting tired, I'll bail out, that kind of thing. I think that might be the case, but overall, it was a pleasurable experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. Okay, so this went on pretty easily. I'm not sure what the problem is with this kit at the moment and why I'm having an issue, but I am having an issue assembling this part. And it might be that I did a step wrong on the thing it's snapping around. Nope, got it. Okay. Does that look right? It should be. Oh, okay, yeah. So my problem was that this piece is angled in a way that I didn't know. It didn't look like it was angled, but now that I look farther ahead, there is an angle to it. So that was my problem. I was trying to fix a thing that didn't need me to fix it. So we can move on now, which is great. Ultron says I had to yell at the teens all day at the library because it was a snow day. Oh, those flossing teens. Well, congrats on your snow day, except it sounds like you had some work to do on there. And Asmo says, not nearly as stressful, a bad home situation, but I work from home most days, and my work laptop and game PC share a desk. Looking forward to shutting the laptop down and having the desk to be mine. Asmo, yeah, that's really important. Obviously, like, I don't actually, maybe not obviously. If you didn't know, I'm currently in my bedroom. Um, I have a wall that I put a green screen up on, and my computer monitors, actually, they're right here, usually are right there, like over there. And I just move them. I set up a card table, folding table. It's nicer than the card table. Move the monitor on there. Move my PC out from its normal spot. Set up some lights. Throw up the green screen. Move my chair over, and I go. It's very easy to move things around, and it's not a long setup. It does require some time, but it's not that long of a setup. Um, but it is also where I relax. So when I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna like move some stuff around and leave some stuff. Uh, and I'll leave some stuff that I can use on Saturday because it's only actually tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm doing my game stream, so I won't need this camera, but I will need this camera, and I will use the desk and the green screen. Yeah, Xander. I mean, it's taken such a long time for me to get where I'm at here. Obviously, using the green screen adds a lot of work, but it felt very. It feels like it's a good part of the process, and adds to the overall thing of it. Uh, yeah, and then the hope is that like when I'm done streaming, I can go into relaxing mode. So what I try to do is when I set up all this stuff, like today I recorded next Wednesday's um, I recorded next Monday's Let Pat Play, and I also recorded next Wednesday's backgrounded characters. So that way that's done. So tomorrow I just have to stream at night for my monthly bonus gaming stream, which I do every month. I do one stream where I play games with the chat. That's tomorrow, 9 p.m. If you're around, join me. Um, but it was important that I like do all that extra stuff while I have my green screen set up, so that I'm not setting up my green screen to do background and characters, or getting my headset mic out to do a Let Pat Play while I'm like on my time that I've designated for me to just relax. Like tomorrow afternoon, I've got emails, I've got phone calls, I've got a meeting. I'm doing stuff tomorrow. But I don't have to leave my apartment. So it's important to me to like find the time to relax uh, here, so that way I can not go stir crazy. Also, have not left the apartment today. So when I'm done streaming, I'm going to go and get a slice of pizza, or two slices of pizza, probably. And that will be me leaving the apartment. I also, because it was raining. I was going to do laundry today, but it was raining. So I'll do laundry tomorrow. Uh, and grocery shopping tomorrow. But I can do grocery shopping while I let my clothes wash. And then I put my laundry away. And by the time I'm done with that, or put my groceries away, and then it's time to go get the laundry. Put it in the dryer. Works out pretty good for me. Brown Lyncher says, just got a job offer, so hype, even though it's part-time on the weekend. Hey, work is work, buddy. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that. Uh, yeah, I'm in that weird thing where I got offered a gig, which I am most likely accepting and happy to accept, but it is very part-time. But it is so part-time and such a weird time that I probably can do a full-time job and that, and it will just be extra money, which would be nice. I believe it is under the table work, which while I am against as an ongoing situation and would certainly never advocate as a solution to any problem. Okay, I'll figure it out. All right, so we got to get this in here. It does take discipline, but I spent the time chatting with people in office. Now I spend taking the dog for an extra walk or getting in the game of Hearthstone. So Asmo works from home and was talking about that work-life balance. Yeah, I've never worked from home, so I can't necessarily speak on that from experience, but I do know plenty of folks that have made that work for them, and I think they're awesome for being able to do it. It has not been my personal thing. I haven't done that. But yeah, that's awesome. If you can pull it off, if you can make it work. All right, so let's get this chess piece in here. All right, what are we gonna do here? I wonder if this is Like I thought I did the chest piece right, but now I'm somewhat second guessing myself. Oh, messed up the shoulder there. So I'm gonna look. Yeah, no, it's bent like that. Probably not as much as I did. All right, so I'm actually thinking I didn't do this quite right. So now I'm gonna try to fix it. Hmm. Going to be helping teach coding to 11th and 12th graders in the Upward Bound program in Newark. Oh, Brown Lantern, that sounds awesome. That's that's very cool. That's some needed education for folks, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate that. And part time on the weekends, then you've got other more traditional jobs you can apply for, and people will say, "Oh, what else do you do?" And you'll be like, well, uh, I teach coding to 11th and 12th graders in the Upward Bound program in Newark," and people will be like, "Oh, well, that sounds like an important thing." And you'll be like, "Well, the kids are their own reward," or some dumb bullshit that you have to say when you're trying to apply for work and be like braggy about what you do, but not so braggy. I am very guilty of that problem. I'm trying to be better about it. Um, it's just there's no great way to say this, but I am legitimately very good at light and sound work for comedy theaters as a tech. I'm very good at what I do. Uh, I have won awards for being a tech person. Time Out in New York called me one of the in 2000, I can't remember when. I was at one of New York's comedy linchpins, which is a fun descriptor. Uh, and I know that I'm very good at what I do. So when I'm talking to people about that kind of work, it's it's hard not to be braggy, and it's hard to be like, no, I'm just letting you know I'm very good at this, in a way that doesn't come across like, well, when I've been doing it, it's like, no, I have to just be like, the truth is I'm pretty good at this thing, and people know that. Uh, I'm trying to find the best way to tell people. I'm like, hey, if I work for you and I tell people I'm working here, that is a vote of confidence in what you do. Hello, board. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Shadow says figuring out how to sell yourself without coming off wrong is more anxiety inducing than actually starting a new job, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree with that statement. It is it's hard to know what you're worth, and it's hard to let people know that without coming across, yeah, like just like unprofessional. But hey, you got to know I'm very good at this is sometimes a hard thing to say. I will say this: I wish this booklet was a little bigger and and the photos were a little larger. That is my big complaint with this kit so far. Oops, is that I have not been thrilled with the kit or the instruction manual. I thought it was me just being tired on Monday, and yes, I was tired on Monday, but in general, I'm not loving this kit. All right, well, this isn't going in right. And then sometimes it's because, like, a thing isn't working here, kit production or kit assembly, because you just don't know what the thing's supposed to look like. But this doesn't seem to be that problem. Gonna try to trim this down a little bit, see if that'll help. Brown Lantern says I have a tendency to talk too much and overshare, so I get really anxious about how much I talk when I'm new in places. Yeah, I I'm pretty good at understanding the rapport that a space has. Uh, Not always, but I'm generally pretty good at vibing the room and figuring out what people think and how they feel about the place that they're working in. General, not always, but in general, I'm pretty good at it. Okay, so this. Hmm. Sorry about this, folks. I am definitely running into some issues with this kit of just like knowing what the fuck they want from me. This is definitely down. This is definitely like this. So if it goes like that. There we go. Nope. The fuck? There we go. Okay. Nope, that's still not right. I'm literally like matching up what it looks like here. So this goes like this. This goes. That looks open on that side. So is that like that? Or is it like. No, it's like this. Okay. I'm only 23. I have much to learn. Yeah, Brown Lantern. You've got time to figure out that stuff. It's hard. That like knowing how much to share, knowing what is just a nice workplace friendship, what is the beginning of a real friendship that you've had like school wise, and who is just like getting through the day, moving on. You'll never see it anywhere outside of work, but is polite, and you're like, oh, this is not a friendship. This is like someone that I can talk to you about what's going on at work. And that is the extent of it. And that's, yeah, like this comes with experience and time. You'll figure that stuff out. But it's not easy. And there's plenty of people talking about it, but there's no real handbook for that stuff. I've certainly goofed my share in that respect. All right, so this kit. People were like, "Oh, I love this kit. Oh, this kit is so fun," and no one was like, "This kit is annoying to assemble," because it is. Okay, let's gotta go in like this. Get that piece in first. I don't. All right, we're gonna get this done. I'm gonna figure this dumb thing out. I keep working on this waste part. I don't like using dumb. I apologize. I'm frustrated, but I don't need to. I don't need to talk like that. All right. So this goes on this side. This goes on this side. This piece comes out. This piece goes in here. This goes like this. All right. I think I'm going to get this. See what we can do here. But yeah, folks, just popping in. We are currently at 65 subscribers. The goal is the nice number, 69. If you're interested in becoming a subscriber, that would be rad. Of course, no pressure. We will talk about anime and some of the shows I've been watching later in the build. We'll move on past this step that I'm having just the most problems with at some point in the near future, in the near future. And then also, no spoilers. But I'm going to talk right now about Steven Universe. Steven Universe came to an end with a wonderful special that just happened this week. I will not be giving any spoilers. There'll be no spoilers in the chat because you all are wonderful people, and I know that you wouldn't pull that shenanigans. If you don't want to watch it and you want to know what's going on, that's what the internet's for. So Go to any place on the internet, like YouTube. You'll find them. You'll find information about what happened if you don't know. But it was great. It was really great and really fun, and there was a few callbacks to things I didn't think we were going to see, and it was just, yeah, overall, very cool. Yeah, I was into it. Hello, Mr. Bob. Happy to have you here. Uh, yeah, Ultron. I have not read anything about that Serenity thing. I'm gonna wait for my friends who were like, "Oh, I read about it. I gotta go see this movie," because like I don't need to go to a movie to find out about that it's weird. It sounds like a lot, but I'm like, I don't need that. Okay, so why am I? What did I do wrong? It goes there. That goes there. That's on the back of it. This lives like this. And then I'm sorry I'm stuck on this piece, y'all. This is not a fun build part, but it's also the reality of sometimes builds aren't fun. And I don't, you know, sometimes they're not all good times and sunshine. Sometimes they're a weird amount of work. And you're like, why is this like this? Who made this like this? Why would they do this? Not always, but sometimes it is. Uh, so, uh, Mr. Bob, this is the Sengoku Astray from Gundam Builders, Gundam Build Fighters. That's what it is. Gundam Build Fighters Astray Gundam. So it is not the red frame, though obviously it is similar. All right, so that's not going to work. So is it like this? I'm wondering if I just messed up somewhere else and now I'm like paying for it. But that would be really annoying and require a whole lot of backtrack. But it might be the case. Okay. So that wants me to go there, and that wants me to go there. But if I do that, it doesn't seem to. Yeah. Hmm. Oop. Ow. Yeah. I'm sorry, folks. This is weird, but I'm just not figuring out this part. It's being very strange. I'm not sure why. Um, it's one of those Gundam names that I just keep adding words to. Yes. Hello, Johnny. Happy to have you here. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Once again, I apologize for the weirdness of this kit. I don't think it's me. I think this kit is just weird. I'm having a lot of problems getting this done. So I guess the idea is that it would be like this, with this in the middle. And then when this is on, this piece would go in here. But when that's connected, it doesn't really have enough clearance for that. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Let's try again. Hmm. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Ah! So frustrating. Let's do that. I know there was a version of the red frame that was piloting its own power loader of a giant mile-long sword. A giant mile-long sword sounds pretty great. Yeah, I would be into that. I don't know why Gundam Fighters like just it doesn't come out. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Maybe because I'm trying to add a Z. Maybe I'm thinking of Dragon Ball. I'm trying to throw a Z in there. Okay, so if we do it like this, and then this goes in here like this, it works. And then this goes in like this. Okay, so it goes in like that. And then I need G2 and G3. Okay, I think I might have made some headway on this. Um, so we'll see if I can figure this out. So let's try to put these on first, and then we'll put that on. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, overall, I would say I wish this kit's instructions were better. It might just be me, but I'm thinking it's not just me. I'm thinking that this is not great instruction manual. But it looks cool. The kit looks awesome, so I'm happy about that. You found it. The Astray Red frame with power loader. Yup, that the power loader part is just like an exosuit. Oh, like it's just a Gundam inside of a. It's a Gundam inside of a model kit or mobile suit, I should say. And then yeah, that's nonsense. And then the sword is bigger than the power suit too. That's so much. So much is going on in that. It's a robot and a robot. Yeah, that's just so much. It's great, but it's so much. Doesn't need to be that much. All right, so let's see if I can just like that. Goes in like that. Goes in like that. I haven't had this much trouble on a kit in quite some time. Frustrating. Just trying to get these pieces in. All right, so that's in. That's in. Now, oops. Yeah, when pieces fly off, you know they weren't attached properly. But I just don't know what I'm doing wrong here. All right. We can pull this up. Put this on. Yeah, that's not how it should go, but. Sorry, I'm getting quiet. That usually happens when I'm just thoroughly and utterly confused about a kit. That's when I get quiet. when I just like, what did I do wrong? Where did I screw up? Where did I go wrong here? What's even happening? So I'm trying to figure this all out. That's a significant sword. Oh, it's 150 meters, not a mile. Well, yes, Ultron, you're right to apologize. But yeah, that kit is very silly and great looking. Okay, so this goes like this. This goes like this. This goes in here. This piece snaps in like that. This was all right. Good. And then hmm. All right. So yeah, the Steven Universe final was really good. I recommend it. Uh, oh, Harold. Yes, I'll be here at 9 p.m. Played some Jackbox games. I'm going to start with some Hearthstone. Please join me if you can, Harold. Great to have you here tonight. Thank you so much. Um, okay, so this lives like it's just not right. Something is just very wrong, and I don't know what it is. All right. Huh. Sorry, everybody. I mean, I keep apologizing. I should just move on. I should just not put this piece on and come back to it later, I guess. But it just seems like there should be mobility on this kit. And it should be lined up. I'm like literally like looking at the build of it. So this goes like this. Let's see. How? Yeah. Guess that's right. Sounds like maybe you should take a break. I mean, it's gonna be fine. What we'll end up doing is we can move on to like the legs or some other part, and I can come back to it because I might just try off camera like tomorrow to or Saturday during the day to really figure out like take this part apart. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Instead of taking a break from kit building, we will just move on to another step, knowing that we will come back to this. We can just build the head, which is next, and know that we've got work to do here on the chest because the chest is not done. It's close, but it's just not done, and I don't know what's going on with it. What I might end up doing is just taking every single piece of this off and completely rebuilding it um, slower when I'm not on camera. Most likely that's what I'll do. So we'll put a pin in the chest and we're going to move on and we're going to build the head. So the nice thing about model kit stuff like this is, we're not building feet up and just attaching. We're doing sections that which you then combine together. So we can do some of those. We'll just jump ahead to the head section. When in doubt, just say you'll come back to it. I've had that before on kits, so that's a good little bit of a lesson. I've certainly had that. It's been a while since we ran into a kit that gave me such trouble like that, but it has happened. Um, where you just like have to just take a step back from it, and then you realize there was a piece that you put in the wrong direction, or you just put it in slightly up, wrong in the wrong position, upside down. It's the wrong piece. You missed a step completely. Those things happen. I don't like that they happen, but they do. And also we get our first sticker, so that's fun. We'll get our first sticker in here on A15. But yeah, uh, sometimes you can sit and stare at a problem, and other times you have to just be honest with yourself and say, I can't do this right now, and move on to the next thing. It's just part of it. Okay, so that goes like that. And then I need A24. Which is this piece here. So working on the head, which is small pieces, but still shouldn't give us too much trouble. We'll just take our time with it. Make sure that we're snipping off all the excess. This kit seems to have a lot of excess, which is fine. So we take this here, put this like that. Part there. Just putting together the back of our head here. Oh, yep, I said there's a lot of excess on this, and there certainly is. All right, great. So let's see. Is there anything else going on with me? As I said, I'm doing my monthly bonus game stream tomorrow night, so that's always look forward to. I have a show at midnight tomorrow. If you're in the New York area and want to come to a comedy show, it is the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater East Village, of which I work at, and I am doing a show called Cool Shit Weird Shit. It is a monthly show. That is the idea is that it's a brand new show every month, and it is just looking at different cool and weird things. It's just kind of like experimenting. We're doing a funeral show for the theater, and my segment that I'm going to do, I'm excited about, is I'll look at shows that I don't know why we did them. Not necessarily that they were like, oh, I don't like this person or whatever. I'm just like, why did we do that? Why did that show get booked here? Why did that happen? Why did so many people work so hard on that idea? So that'll be fun. Just a little slideshow for that show there. Ben, this month is cool and weird because it's cool slash weird. It's probably mostly cool. I'm sure it won't be that weird of a show compared to the other ones. All right, so we've got eyeballs. You see there, eyeballs. There's a sticker, eyeball sticker attached. So that's good. Got our eyeballs in. Head together here. Just gotta attach the pieces. Great. Put in, back in. Good, good, good. Now we need X and U and U. X1. Sorry, gold pieces here. X1, and then we need U1. U1. Oops. There we go. Dropping some sheets on the floor. Get those out. Great, great, great. All right. U1. U12, sorry. Oh, we can pull our little pilot out too. There's our little pilot. Put that in the box. So we will assemble the head, and I will take my break where I'll talk about ways that people can support the streams, yada yada, yada, all that and such. Then we will talk about some anime. Leading into it, as we finish this up, I have not spoken publicly about it because the announcements just started today. But Somebody asked me for comment, and I said that I would have to think about how I feel, but I still don't quite know. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get my words together right for it. So GamerX East is happening in April at the Microsoft Center in New York, as it has in the past. Um, for those that don't know anything about GamerX, GamerX is a not-for-profit uh, convention that used to happen in San Francisco, and they started a New York one, and New York one has continued, whereas San Francisco one they couldn't keep doing. Um, and it celebrates. It's a queer-focused but open to all gaming experience. At a conference, there's panels, and it's um, very positive. And I've been lucky enough to perform at it and to be able to, because I was performing at it, and that allowed me to uh, advocate for it and tell people about it who maybe didn't know or wouldn't have thought to. Um, Xander says I would love to go to New York again, but I'm not sure I'm ready to travel again so soon because it will be like a month after PAX East. Now, uh, my first thought was no, I'm not gonna. GamerX is tainted in that it was founded by Matt Kahn from Midroll or Midboss, sorry, not Midroll, Midboss, um, who through many accusations from folks who I don't know and some who I do know, it was apparently accusations of everything from paid queer people who were just trying to get into the industry far less than they should have been paid under minimum wage in many cases, was verbally abusive to people, and then there are also inappropriate sexual comments uh, were levied at Matt as well. He stepped down from being in charge of GamerX, and then eventually stepped down from Midboss. Um, but interim, there was someone who stepped in to be in charge of GamerX, who people were like, "This is not a solution. This is a person that worked with Matt at Midroll or Midboss. I keep saying Midroll. At Midboss, this is not appropriate." And then that person was apparently removed, and someone else who had nothing, who was not associated with Matt's role in uh, games, came in. Uh, and it's that thing where I just feel very weird about supporting. I might go to it. I might just buy a pass and go to it, but I don't. I don't. I'm not going to submit a panel for it, and I don't think I can advocate for it. What I really need to do is talk to a friend of mine who worked uh, for Midboss and uh, see what they say, and who also volunteered their time for GameRex. And I just want to get their opinion, somebody whose opinion I trust. I don't want to throw names out there because that's not right at this time. But yeah, I just don't know what to do. Um, it's a tough situation. Uh, but then I look at some of the people that have agreed to be there. And there are people whose opinions and thoughts I really respect. And I do think there needs to be a place for people to feel like they can be together. I mean, the last Gamer X East was after an election, recent election, and it was really important that people felt they could be together. Uh, and so I think that those spaces are super important, and advocating for those spaces is incredibly important. I mean, I volunteered at FlameCon last year. I'm a huge supporter of FlameCon and what they do, and I think they're incredible. But uh, and I want to be the same way about Gamer X, but it's weird, and I don't know. Johnny says they'll probably at least wait and see a year how things go. Yeah. I mean, they have to prove themselves, and having Catherine Moon going, having DJ Kirkland be a guest of honor. Um, there are people who are going to be involved in this that I have a ton of respect for. But I also take my role as an advocate very seriously. I try to champion good stuff and be there for people and be out there and outspoken. And I just don't know if I can about it. Uh, it's so rough and so complicated, and I just don't know. I mean, it's in my backyard. I can go to it. And the person who works for Microsoft that helps make it, Johnny, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, that's rough and so frustrating. Uh, yeah. And then, yeah, Alexander, I would say probably directly 1 month after PAX East, I would say probably don't go. Give yourself the opportunity to rest because it's a lot. Mr. Locate is giving me a follow. Thank you very much for the follow, folks. Yeah, if you're not currently uh, a follower, give me that follow there so that way you know when I go live on my streams. That's very helpful. We just put another sticker on. Looks pretty good where it is. Just gonna pop that in there. But yeah, it's none of it's easy, and you know, uh, Johnny, obviously you're in a particularly different situation than I am, uh, as far as going and not going. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't in New York, it would be no question I wouldn't go because it's a month later, and I don't know what my life is going to be like then. But I certainly don't want to do a panel there. If I go, it won't be to panel. I know that they were at PAX South and the Diversity Lounge, so that's interesting. I don't know if they'll be at PAX East or not. And I know that uh, I also should at some point probably talk to Tanya, who, you know, has helped with panels, has been in charge of panels, was retweeting stuff of theirs today. I, is an incredible advocate and clearly a straight shooter and has people's best interest at heart. So I should probably ask Tanya how she's feeling about all this because she's, I assume, still working with them. So I don't know. But it's complicated. I kind of wanted to talk it out. I don't begrudge anyone going, of course. I mean, hell, I'd probably go to PAX if I had the chance. Yes, I mean, to me, Penny Arcade and PAX are different things. They're not fully, obviously, separate, but they are very separate. Uh, it's still the part. They're still the hosts of the party, but um, but yeah, I understand. And like I said, first and foremost, I want these spaces to exist for people because they deserve to have them. They're vital and necessary. That's why I'm such an advocate for FlameCon, even though they apparently really goofed up their table stuff this year. I don't know the whole story, but apparently it was bad. So yeah, I was bummed about that to hear that. I'm going to try to perform. Last year I volunteered. I'm going to try to do something because FlameCon rules. I'd like to be able to support them by getting some folks to go. I don't know. Oof, yeah, they readjusted. Now things are a bit better, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of it is oofta. And, I understand I have friends who are like, I have a friend that performed in 2 panels last year at PAX, and I was very surprised. But I totally get it. In the same way that uh, it would be a an issue to have some people. It would be very hypocritical of me to have some people involved at PAX do stuff that I do. It'd be very hypocritical. Oh yes. Hey, subscribers, let's throw the Bear Cave emote here in the chat because both the Bear Cave emote and the Lego emote were done by Alexandra, uh, wonderful artist and illustrator and writer. Uh, uh, the wonderful supporter of a bunch of stuff that I do and friends is here in the chat. So Johnny, I wish there were more queer focused cons where you're at. That's a shame to hear. It's not unfortunately surprising, but yeah, I mean that's why I try to ring out and like I want uh, GamerX to be awesome. I want to hear the people that are working on this are know what they need to do and know who they need to reach out to. They've made steps, and I want to hear all that. I haven't heard that yet, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened because I'm not always in the loop on things. So we'll see. Yes, Johnny. First and foremost, uh, that was a necessary thing. That was like not gonna fly. They needed someone to come in who, you know, was an outside perspective within the community, but not part of a cycle of abuse. It's incredibly important. All right, one more piece here, and then we will hard pivot from talking about responsibility and the necessity of queer focused conventions to me asking for support and money and all of that. First and foremost, hello. This is the Build with Bear workshop. We're building model kits here. I'm happy to have you here in the chat, watching on the stream. If you're watching on YouTube later, hello. I appreciate you as well. Strong but mighty contingent of people watch these after the fact, or can only watch once a week, or can never watch. I always talk about Iron Souls, great supporter, continued monthly supporter here, does not watch the streams live. If you're not already giving me a follow, please consider doing that. That way you get updates of when I go live. And if you'd like, you can become a subscriber. We're at 65 subscribers right now, looking to hit up that lovely, nice number of 69. But also, the most subscribers, like this month has been fantastic. You've been so supportive. If this is not your way that you'd like to support me, but you would like, I could give you $1 a month, but I can't do $5 a month. I get that. I have a Patreon. I'm going to put a link here it'll be in the show description, but also here in the chat right now. Patreon.com/PatBear. You could just give $1 a month, and you know what you get for $1 a month? Well, you get a Q&A video. I just put up this month's Q&A video today, so you get to scroll back if you join that. $5 a month, you get the videos early. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, send it out to my Patreon at $5 and $10. $10, you get to vote on kits. I always jump the line with model kits that were bought off my wish list, which I'll talk about in a second. So those always get priority, but sometimes I get like multiple kits in the mail at once, or the kits that I bought myself. I put polls up pretty consistently for my $10 Patreon supporters to be able to pick something up from there. So that's an option as well. More than, that would very much appreciate that support from there. And is there anything? Oh yeah. I've got my Amazon wish list. Now, this kit that we're building right now was purchased on Amazon from my wish list by Rich Gallup. Thank you again, Rich. I've been told that someone who was in the chat earlier also just purchased a kit that I'm looking forward to building from a Gundam anime that we're all pretty familiar with on this stream. So that'll be a future build. I had some papercraft as suggested by Will Smith. I bought a Transformers Gundam, Optimus Prime, not Gundam, model kit, not Gundam. But that Transformer does not transform. It's just the robot version, but it'll still be cool. I've got that Overwatch stuff in there because those Overwatch Lego kits look pretty neat. Um, wouldn't mind building one of those. And then a bunch of other stuff. Some Dragon Ball stuff, some Lego, some Gundams, bunch of different things. Uh, Transformers that don't transform. I know, Johnny. It's just the robot mode. It's the attack mode, they said. But I also could understand why a model kit that transforms is hard. So, uh, the Diva set and the Watch Point Gibraltar set are fabulous. Yeah, that Diva set, I would like to put that together. I also have if you want to do a one-time donation sometime in the future, my coffee or Ko-Fi is in here, and I would be interested, always looking for that. And anything I make through my Patreon, through the Kickstarter. I haven't done a Kickstarter in a while. Hopefully, I won't have to do one of those in the future. But I don't know, but hopefully not. But yeah, my Ko-Fi, Patreon, Twitch, the money I get on ads on YouTube, the videos I put on YouTube, all that goes into me buying model kits or equipment here. And that's it. I should say I have my Discord. We're gonna get back to building in a moment, but I did want to talk about my Discord, which is here. Build with Baer Community Discord. Feel free to join that. I post some photos. People post nice things. It's fun. Um, cool. And then cool shit, weird shit. I'm doing the show as I mentioned tomorrow at midnight UCB. Feel free to pop in if you're in the New York area. You want to come see a fun, weird show that's cool and weird. And then tomorrow, as I said, 9 p.m. Eastern Time is the monthly bonus game stream. It's a stream where I focus on games to play with you, the community. So you can come watch that tomorrow at 9 p.m. I will be showing off a very fun deck in Hearthstone. It's a hunter deck that combines the quest along with playing a lot of spells. So it's not Spell Hunter, it's not Beast Hunter, it's not Quest Hunter, it's Quest Spell Hunter. When it works, it is awesome. And sometimes it just does not work at all. But I really like that deck, so I've been into that. Um, so yeah, and then we'll play some Jackbox games tomorrow. It'll be fun. Okay. I have assembled the head. The head is assembled. It's a cool looking thing. It's good armor on the head there. Some stickers. We are now going to move on to the arms. And a lot of these steps we'll be doing two at a time. So we'll need this, and we'll need this. We'll need E. A bunch of E pieces here. But yeah, so some of this, it looks pretty symmetrical. Most likely it'll be fully symmetrical until we start putting the components together. A few pieces here and there, I'm sure, are not symmetrical. But for the most part, it looks like it is. I don't know if there's anything else going on with me. We'll talk about anime in a moment. But yeah, as always, another great way to support the channel is just to tell a friend. If you know someone that likes model kit building, if you know someone that likes Lego stuff, anime talk, just a nice, very respectful, pleasant community, things are great here. Shit Arcade was really fun, Shadow. Last Friday, I did Mike Drucker's show, Shit Arcade, along with a bunch of other people, and it was a really good time. Audience was cool. I met Gita Jackson for the first time ever because she does not do convention stuff, so it was really nice to meet them, to meet her, and ran into some old friends, and it was really pleasant and really fun, and I had a good time. I was very pleased that Mike asked me to do it. Mike's been a great friend for a really long time. Mike was just a dude that had been in the New York scene. I kind of knew him through comedy stuff and hanging out. And then, we kept in touch on the internet. We have so many friends in common and so much going on that and eventually when he moved back to New York, he did a bunch of shows of mine. And so it's nice to be able to do one of his shows after he did so many. I think he's tied for the most New York appearances for 404ing it as a New York show. I think he's tied with MC Chris for the most appearances. Of course, Jeff Gersman and probably Eric Pope has beat out Jeff in. Yes, I think Pope might have the most appearances in PAX 404ing it, but I don't know for sure because Jeff has done a bunch, but also Pope has done a bunch. Hell yeah, MC Chris. Chris, before he was known for Adult Swim stuff, he was in the New York comedy scene. Went to NYU, started doing comedy at UCB. Was friends with a lot of my friends, but like left before I arrived. Like right before I arrived, he went down to start doing that. So when he came back up to New York, where he lived here for quite some time, we just had a lot of mutual friends, and I was a fan already. And I'll tell you this, that's real weird. When you're a fan of someone and then you become friends with them, but you're still a fan, it's a thing that I've dealt with a lot. Like, it's so weird. It's very, very strange. Uh, yeah. Yeah, Alexandra knows. It's real weird. Uh, Asmo's going to eat an irresponsible amount of pizza tomorrow and play games with the chat. Well, Asmo, one, happy to have you there in the for chat games. And two, just take care of yourself. Look out. Like I said, I'm going to get a slice of pizza tonight. I'm going to get my victory pizza and leave the house for a little bit. I also have to put the recycling out. That's the honest thing. I was like, oh, I got to put clothes on and put the recycling out. And while I'm out, I could go get pizza because the pizza place will still be open when this is done. Xandra knows it's real weird. It is very weird to meet people that you have like a lot of respect for and that you think are awesome, and then like become friends with them and have them like be in your corner and be supportive of what you do. And you're like, what I do, but what about what you do? And then the other side of that, which is there's another element to that, which people always talk about, like meeting your heroes and all that. But what if they're not your heroes? What if they're just people you know on the internet and you think they're pretty cool? And maybe you have a friend crush or a crush on them. And then you start hanging out. And you're like, well, this is weird. Internet crushes aren't supposed to know your name in person. Maybe they know your internet handle, but you're not supposed to like go out for Italian food at the convention with them. Suddenly you're sitting next to them at someone's birthday party and they don't know enough people either. And you strike up a conversation. You're like, no. I like your Instagram photos. I don't talk to you. Ooh, that's weird. That is a weird thing. Very weird. But you got to be cool. You got to be cool. Please be cool. Eric Pope is Nightmare Factory, yes. I think Eric is probably watching less weird videos now because he's not part of a. I don't know. I don't get the sense that Ubisoft or I don't get a sense that his work environment has as much weird video sharing as Harmonix did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not the vibe I get. Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken, but that I don't get that. I feel like they have fun, but it is a more professional environment than maybe Harmonix. Bet you the amount of weird videos that are shared went up when Eric joined them. Mr. Bob, I would not take that bet because I bet I agree that one could assume that Eric might have ingratiated himself with everyone by being the weird video guy. I do know that somebody that he doesn't work with directly, but there's somebody who works like on another game that's in the Montreal studio. Like there were a few people that knew him from like One Up, not One Up, from Harmonix and Giant Bomb stuff. Uh, and at least somebody pitched like a wrestling character, which I thought that was very funny. He was like, "Oh, they know what I do. Oh no, they know stuff." I'm like, "Ha ha." But yeah, he had a few Harmonix people or people reach out saying that they knew harmonic stuff and were interested in talking to him about that, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, am I missing a piece? Did I do? There's that. Where's the piece cut out? I don't know where it is. Did I drop a piece on the floor? All right, I'm gonna see if I don't know where it is. I'll figure this out. Okay, everything's okay. Just can't find a piece. I don't know why. But we'll figure this out. Oh, there was one piece. That's right. There was one piece that came out. What did I do with it? Did have. All right, I'll find this in a second. Don't worry, folks. Everything's gonna be cool. Bet you Matt the yeah. I rewatched Dog Police recently. Yeah. Every once in a while, someone tries to send me more of those cool vids, and I'm like, the cool 3D vids, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm okay. Don't need that. All right, so this is like a shoulder piece here. Put this together. Have I ever told the Mr. Pope the way I met Eric story? I don't know if I have on the stream. I think I have in other things, but so Eric Pope, formerly of Harmonix, now a community manager of For Honor, um, and one of the announcers for League of Heels. Uh, my good buddy Eric Pope. Eric lived in Boston, working for Harmonix, and would take trips to New York. Now Eric did knows a lot of people in the comedy world because he did Improv Boston years and years ago. Knew people in that scene, um, and so he was in New York, and he was at the UCB Theater in Chelsea when it was still there to go see a comedy show, and I recognized him from the internet, and I said hello and introduced myself, and then tweeted him, and then he knew me as the guy from UCB that like went to stuff and knew people. The hillbilly from Roundabout, indeed Ultron. That is also a credit of Eric's. Um, but yeah, he knew me as the UCB guy, and then I went to PAX and hung out with him. And because I was tweeting with him and like replying to tweets, Drake and Aaron and Nick and Christine and a bunch of other people from Harmonix knew me as like, oh, that's a dude that does comedy in New York that like knows Pope. And people weren't sure how I knew Pope, just that I knew him. They were like, "We don't remember. Like, did you do comedy with him, or like what? What was the specific thing?" And I was just like, "Oh no, I just introduced myself, and I'm not the worst. So we are friends now." And yeah, that led to a lot of that stuff, which also led to like when discussions of finally doing the League of Heels, the first League of Heels, the Rumble, came up. I was like, well, I run a comedy wrestling league in New York. Let me do the show. Um, yeah, and that's the story. I am missing a piece that I knew that I remember earlier having like a spare part, and I don't know where I did with it. But I am missing a piece now for the shoulder here, so I won't fully assemble that until I can find out where the other E10 went. Hopefully, when I put things together, I will find it. It's not a bad stream tonight. Just like it's been a little bit of a weird one. Uh, but I'm happy to continue. I'm building here. 5, okay. 5 here, okay. All right. And we need some of this. Okay, cool. Quiet streams can be good too. Yeah, every once in a while I get a little quiet, but that's I apologize for that. Yeah, this has been a weird little stream. We've had some weird issues here, but I think things will be okay. Hopefully, I'll find that piece that I'm missing. I assume that when I start cleaning up the space, like I'll roll my chair and suddenly it'll appear. And then, like I said, before Saturday, I'm going to try to fix the problems I have with the chest there and finish, and then we can finish the chest off on stream. But I don't know what's going on there, but it was having some issues. I assumed I just assembled something wrong. That's my assumption anyway. Um, and all right, so I need that, and then I need that one. Evening, Pat. Eating chicken. Watching you build a Gundam. Well, Humbao, I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody who's here in the chat, I do appreciate y'all being here. We've got another half an hour or so of stream left. We are doing the usual 9 to 11. Saturday, we'll do 9 to 11 again, my normal stream time. And then, as mentioned, tomorrow, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. is my bonus game stream where I'll play some games on my own to like let the chat fill up, and then we'll play some Jackbox games, and it will be pretty chill and cool, and you'll have a good time. I hope. I mean, I'll certainly have a good time. All right, anime talk time. Uh, it's time to talk about some anime. Real quickly, I'll say, obviously, not obviously, but most likely no one here is watching Black Clover. I am. This last episode was a festival, and it was very cute, and there was a double date, and it was very nice, and it was very slice of lifey. I know there's another big battle coming in soon because I've been told that from people that have read the manga. So I'm looking forward to introduction of a couple characters I haven't met yet and some fight stuff. But this one was cute and fun. I like the show quite a bit. I I know it's nothing particularly groundbreaking or special, uh, but it is an enjoyable show, and so I'm happy to talk about it because I do think that it's good. Um, let's see what else. We talked about Steven Universe, Change Your Mind. Obviously not an anime, but no spoilers. Um, so Honda-san, I believe it was 12 episodes, right? Yeah, so that should be done. Um, Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. I mean, I'm double checking. Yes, that ran for 12 episodes. The last episode is the Christmas episode. So that show has wrapped up. I don't know if there'll be more. It seemed to do very well. But yeah, if you haven't seen all 12, you should. Um, Space Cadet asks any other slice of life anime recommendations. Well, there's one that's current. If you want to watch a current show, Endro is happening right now, and I recommend that. That's really cute and fun. It is Endro, Endro, is I think it comes out on Saturday. Episodes come out on Saturdays. It is a series about oh, sorry, I'm just looking at these steps here. Gotta do that. It is a series about a adventuring school and a party um, uh, that is trying to become adventurers. There's the hero, and we know from the first episode that they eventually do defeat the demon lord. But there's a twist, and it's just cute and fun and pretty low pressure, and the characters are not super well defined yet, but they're getting there. Like, I don't really know much about the main character other than that she wants to be a hero, and I don't know why she wants to be the mythical hero of legend, but she does. Um, and it is cute so far. So Endro is good. Um, you're totally right. Uh, Shadow, Mob Psycho 2 has been great so far. Yeah, Johnny Endro doesn't do anything particularly exceptional right now, anyway. But it's fun and cute, and like it's about friendship. And there's a little mini dragon that they call uh, uh, Chibi, which is just fun. Just fun. Just fun to call their little mini dragon friend Chibi. I like that. Cute little show. Um, New episode on that on Saturday, and then oh yeah, uh, my roommate is a cat. I mean, like, kind of crying a little bit with my roommate is a cat. It's gonna be an emotional thing. It's like a person. It's like oh, it's really pulling at my heartstrings. It is about a shut-in who ends up becoming the owner of a cat and does not know how to do that. And the cat was wild and has never had an owner and does not understand. And it's like, woo, uh, it's very emotional, and um, yeah, it's great. I think Endro is a show that people are going to overlook, and I think Rumor is a Cat is a show that people are going to really talk up a lot and really be positive with. I think like the guy can be frustrating, whereas the cat, it's weird because like the dude, I'm like, hey man, fucking get this shit together, figure your shit out. But the cat, I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. You don't know better. You don't know any better. It's all right. So it's a fun juxtaposition in my mind anyway, where I'm like totally forgiving of the cat not being able to be a house cat and totally like telling this dude to buck up, figure his stuff out. It's great. Um, so watch that, and then the last thing is I don't know if I'm going to stick with it, everybody. I just don't know if I can, but I did. I am now caught up on Rise of the Shield Hero. The first episode's like a long one, and I didn't really like it. And the second episode I didn't finish, but then people told me there was a time skip, and I should go and finish it up. It's just a short time skip, so it gets into the action. Because I was like, I am not sticking with this thing. But so I am watching it, and it is good. I do like it. Um, I don't know if I will watch the whole thing. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I've got it in me to fully commit to it, but it is. There's something about it that I do like. So I don't know. Did I put this on wrong? I think I put this on wrong. Got to take this apart. Yeah, but Enduro is really fun. And obviously, I talked about it on Monday night, but this last episode, a lot happened in this last episode of episode 16 of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Uh, a bunch of stuff happens, lots of character development, introduction of a new character. It was just like it was a busy episode. Um, but the new character was in the first opening song, animation, I should say, and hasn't appeared till now. So I was really happy to get that character introduced because I was like, come on, how long are you gonna make us wait for that character to show up? But it was worth it because it was funny. It was good. I will say this about that episode of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. They rushed through a bunch of like development of some characters, some evolutions of characters. Felt pretty rushed to get to the next thing. I was like, that felt faster than it should have been, but whatever. What do I know? All right, so this goes. We are assembling an arm, so we will attempt to do this right. Nice and easy. Okay, so I got to do on this side here. Nice and slow. Slow and steady, y'all. Trying not to have to redo some of this. Um, Show titles are very good. Last season had some of the most nonsense titles because it was the first part of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. We also had Ms. Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood was a show that I really liked. Uh, and then we also had a show, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Senpai was out. And then also As Ms. Beelzebub Likes was like there was just a lot of long fucking titles for shows last season. Of varying quality. I'll say that. But Space Cadet, one of my favorite slice of life shows that I always try to recommend to people, if you're up for a cool slice of life, is Laid Back Camp. Laid Back Camp is my favorite show from last year. It's just so peaceful and wonderful and supportive of about friendship and camping. It's a show that's so good that um, camping increased in Japan around Mount Fuji. It made camping at Mount Fuji seem so cool that more people did it last year than they did the previous year. And I don't look at many metrics in this world, but I think that if your anime is good if it makes the thing you're talking about so appealing that people are like, yeah, yeah, let's go. You know what? We could do that. Let's do that. It's just lovely show about friendship, and it's um, also uh, a thing that I think is very important in fiction and both animation and live action. Uh, is that there need to be shows out there where there just aren't dudes. There are no look. The most men that have lines in Laid Back Camp is there's one episode where one of the characters' dad talks a little bit, and then there's the guy that owns the liquor store that one of the characters works part time in. And that's fucking it. There's like some dudes in their school that you kind of see, but they don't say shit. And it's the only show that has less dudes in it is New Game. New Game has one character's younger brother who shows up a little bit, and then there's like a Power Ranger that talks, and that's it. There are no dudes in that show like at all outside of the younger brother, and I think that's so important to have those shows where you just like, yeah, this is a time for female driven characters. It's super important and great. Uh, yeah, please check those out, Space Cadet. Laid Back Camp is so wonderful. It makes me want to go camping once I don't have to do daily physical therapy because I do not want to do that in the forest. Xandra, I totally understand. That makes total sense. Yeah, I don't know if the next time we'll be camping. It does make me want to go outdoors more and do some more outdoorsy activity. Uh, I might this summer, depending on how what's going on with me and my life and money and all that. This summer, I might end up spending a little time and do some hiking. Take the train out because it's only a couple hours to get to places with. Honestly, I could go to. There's a natural forest. There's only one natural forest in New York City. I could just go there and do some hiking. Um, that's just Inwood National Forest. I could just go there. But yeah, I do want to do some not camping, but get some exercise in. Go do some stuff like that. I think would be real good for me. All right, so uh, heck yeah, hiking close to Mount Mount Royal, which has lots of hiking. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to get a bicycle. Says Johnny, she wants to just straight up jump into speed a full weekend camping, and I'm like, let's maybe do a smaller thing first. Yeah, I think spending time out in nature is super important and awesome. If it's stuff people are up for, but like camping is a lot. You got to do a lot of work. It is, it's also um, camping is a lifestyle. It does. There are lots of costs associated with it. It's not just something you can just, you know, it's not a whim. I'm not saying you're doing this on a whim, but it does require some thought put into it because you do have to be prepared for it. You got to be ready to do it. So it's not the easiest thing in the world. But I've not been camping in a very long time, and I do miss it. But yeah, I'd like to get some outdoor stuff going on in my life. I think that would be cool. I don't know. All right, so we're working on our arm here. Um, we can get more done now. We can add some pieces. E and C. Okay, so let's get our E back here. All right. Lots of red on this kit. It's coming together now. These pieces seem to. This steps make more sense working on the arm. Like, I know what pieces I'm using here. I have a good general sense of how they fit together. I'm feeling better about that than I am the chest thing, and then that one piece that I have to find, which shouldn't be the biggest problem in the world if I can't find it. It looks like it's not super necessary, but I prefer to find it if I can. We won't finish this arm anyway, so we'll have time to figure it out. Pokemon Go is my excuse to go outside. Johnny, same here. I will get some exercise tomorrow because, like, tomorrow I really don't have to go out until the evening for a show, but I'm going to go out during the day and run some errands. And, like I said, I'm going to go grocery shopping and do that stuff. Uh, but that's also because, like, I want to check into my Pokestops. It's important. All right. So that goes like that. Goes like that. Looks cool. All right, and then put on C17. Gotta find C. But yeah, it's good to be outside. Outside, not well climate controlled, spotty Wi-Fi, cool views. Asmo, I mean, 1 out of 5 seems pretty low. I understand the spotty Wi-Fi, but some real cool views. Uh, it's pretty neat out there. Also, it rained all day here in New York, so I didn't want to go outside today. But I have to go out. Like I said, I got to put my recycling out for pickup. And then also, while I'm out there, go get some pizza. Because I get to go get pizza. Heck yeah. Alright, so it goes like that. Okay. Alright. Looks cool. Alright, great. And then more white pieces here on C. C20 and C19. Let's see. Any other anime I want to talk about? Rise of the Shield Hero seems alright. Black Clover. My roommate is a cat. Yeah. Mob Psycho. I'm enjoying. I don't know. Girly Air Force has been more of a romance thing than I thought it was going to be, and the action hasn't really heated up. I assume there'll be action and drama. Right now, it's more like kind of fun than I thought. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know if I'm going to keep watching. And then on Saturday, I got to get caught up with uh, what is the magical girl one? The magical girl Spec Ops Asuka. I gotta check that out on more of that this week because I'm behind on that. I don't know. I'm not. It's not. Some of the design has been creepy in a way that I like. Have been hearing good things about Dragon Pilot. No, I don't know anything about Dragon Pilot. Shadow. Um, I have heard absolutely nothing about it. I'm going to search it right now. Oh, a bunch of young people. Uh, is Japanese anime television show. Uh, looks cute. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about this show. Huh. Well, I'll take a look at it. It came out last year, looks like. Or maybe the. Yes, so this ran last year. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Um, okay, Netflix show about dragons hiding as jets. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Uh, I like the idea. Oh, and you know what? Dororo. I'll talk about Dororo. The animation in Dororo is fucking great. It's already brutal. Uh, and I don't know if I can recommend it to everyone, but I am digging it. It's brutal is not necessarily my style, but the story is compelling, and I want to see him succeed and get all his body parts back, and maybe fucking kill his dad who sold off all his body parts for powers and left him for dead. Uh, so yeah, that show's pretty great. So yeah, I haven't heard anything about Dragon Pilot. Huh? That sounds pretty neat. I know, right, Johnny? It's like, oh, great, you offered up a bunch of your newly born child's parts to a demon, a bunch of demons for power, and you say the ends justify the means, but I don't know if I believe that. Just seems rude to me. Uh, yeah, seems pretty cool. I'll watch more of it. Sounds like something Baki's dad would do. Nah, Baki's dad wouldn't sell. I don't. I mean, maybe Baki wants his dad to be, or wants it. Baki's dad wants his son to be tough, though. Maybe it's an experience. All right, that goes in there. Here. All right. Looks pretty cool. Some movement here in the arms. The armor moves pretty well. It's pretty neat. All right, we get to build a hand next. That's fun. In the last parts of this, we can build the hand up. That's cool. So we need E and F and a little bit of B. E and F and a B. Yeah. So I was actually a little down on this season because last season had stuff that I really really liked. So I was a little bummed about some of the offerings at first, but I am warming up to what's going on as far as shows go. Some good stuff. I bounced off quintessential quintuplets. Uh, I don't find it particularly funny, and I don't like the main dude at all. And since it's not a harem show, but it's definitely not a romance show. Well, it's a romance comedy show, but it's trying to be the best of both worlds, and it's just not appealing to me. I just don't think it's that good, uh, and I don't find it funny. And it's definitely trying to be funny. Yeah, so I think I'm going to pass on that. And like I said, Girly Air Force, I'm actually surprised. I'm going to try to catch up on that. Uh, I'm not back on Fairy Tail yet, but I know that I will be. Apparently, it's heating up. Some stuff looks pretty cool coming out of there. Some characters that I've been waiting to see that have not been in the show are coming back, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having to letting a lot of those episodes build up and then just doing a binge watch because that's fun for me. All right, so we're gonna finish this up and then we'll probably call it quits for the night. Let me just finish this hand up here. I need a D20. I gotta blow my nose too. You don't need to know that, but you can probably tell. All right. Then we can assemble a hand. Put this. I don't need this. So this is here. These go like this, and then all right, nice and careful here, and it's nice. It's got a trigger. It's got the trigger on it, or index finger here. Oops. And I haven't been watch. I have not been watching the Alicization or whatever the new season of Sword Art Online. Although I hear the dub is coming to Toonami, which is cool. I'm always happy when people can watch more anime, even if I'm not super into the show myself. Yeah, this. I mean, I've said this before, but it suffers from the problem I have with everything with Sword Art Online is uh, because they have so many characters, they just abandon all of them so they can introduce new characters and tell new stories. And Kirito is pretty cool, but also there's a lot of other characters in that show that I like too, and so it sucks when they have to just go away. I think that's lame, and I don't like that part of the show. So yeah, not really ready to watch that whole thing. I think I'll let it end and then probably watch it over a long period of time because it's just like meh. Oh, because I also have a bunch of subscribers that are new and viewers that are new. Some of y'all have been here for a long time, and I do thank you for that. But there are some new faces around here. I should say, I pay for my Amazon Prime, so when I talk about Amazon Prime shows like Dororo, you can know that I am paying for the right to watch that. But when I talk about anything that's on Crunchyroll, um, I was gifted a year subscription, which is actually ending in March, so I have to look at that. I used to pay for Crunchyroll, and then I got a year subscription from a friend with just the understanding that, like, hey, you talk about anime. Here, let me make it easier for you to talk about anime. No other, description, no other promise of anything, just a conversation. Uh, that's the extent of that. So I have no problem talking about anime uh, because, I was gonna anyway. But it is the thing. Any shows I talk about, take with a grain of salt because I am getting that account for free. We're gonna wrap up here. Humbaus asked, "What's the best Gundam show?" Look, there's so many good things. My favorite is Gundam Wing. That might not be the best one. 8th MS Team might be the best one. Uh, there's going to be somebody out there that says their favorite is G Gundam. Or Char's Counterattack is the best Gundam thing. The very original one. Iron Blooded Orphans is somebody's favorite out there. Gundam Builders Try, or Builders Try, or might be somebody's favorite. There's a lot. 83 Stardust Memory. Um, Shadow says, I'm that shameful person that loves G Gundam. Hey, look, you have to understand, as long as you can understand the cultural bullshit surrounding it, you can feel free to love G Gundam. G Gundam, for all its terrible tropes, is also the story about love and family and saving the world and doing it in a cool way and being the king of hearts. There's a lot to love about that show, and there's also a lot of bullshit associated with it, and some of it is very bad. Uh, no, yeah, Johnny, certainly, Iron Blood Orphans is not the best Gundam series, but it's somebody's favorite. I mean, I assume that there are people out there that really love Turn A, which is so weird. Or Gundam Seed. I'm sure there's people that are like, Gundam Seed's my favorite Gundam. Like, I don't know. I'm sure they're out there. Anyway, we're going to wrap things up. Your favorite Gundam is the one you love the most. That's the best Gundam, is the one that you love. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back on Saturday with another build stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for my monthly bonus game stream while I play games with you in the chat. We'll play some Jackbox stuff. It'll be fun. I'm definitely going to play more Hearthstone just to kind of kick things off, wait for the room to fill up. Love the Gundam you are with. Yes. Thanks so much for hanging out. And I will see you next time. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Bye-bye.